Hey guys, we're waiting for the light. I'm on top of my platform on the truck. Backside of Zion again. Beautiful view, doing some of infrared work, which likes the harsher light. So just waiting for some clouds to move across here and doing the true infrared for a completely different perspective on what we normally get waiting for sunset or something like this. Just really trying to see, okay, what can be done? What can we do? You can see, this is my preview of the infrared, right? So I'm looking at all this information, and then I'm actually looking towards a black and white visualization on this. Now, I've been known to change my visualization after the fact, but I always try and visualize that in my mind first. Of course, the color infrared is beautiful too. What I'm really waiting for is I'm just watching the clouds. And Ansel was really good at this, right? He was known to wait until the clouds, the storm would move in just right. Because a lot of times the difference between just a nice image and a stunning power image is what your sky is doing or what your surrounding elements, what your supporting cast. I mean, it's clear when we look at this scene, okay, what's the subject? Well, obviously here's our focal point right here. And then we have all this cool texture and supporting cast, but these clouds, they're actually blowing across this way. A few minutes ago, these were over here. Slow down. Just slow the heck down, right? Here we're on this remote place. There's very little traffic going up this road. I'm just standing here. A lot of times when I'm doing this, I'll actually, as I'm waiting, I'll take like a photo with the cell phone or something. So I have a GPS tag. So if I don't get the image I want, I can always reference that spot and come back to it later. The light on the rocks is very harsh, as you can see behind me here. And so I'm going to focus on making sure that I have an image that's worthwhile. Now this is where black and white comes into play, sometimes even with visible spectrum. Black and white sometimes likes different light and different texture and different tonalities than color does. See, it's all just light. It's all visualization in the mind's eye and what can we carry through to the print. But don't get so hung up on the tool or on what you're doing that you forget about what you're seeing. I mean, wow. And then start asking yourself questions. Where can I put different elements? How can I do this justice? Is it the right time? Do I have to come back later to get what I need? We've got this multi-level cloud day, right? Sun is back here, coming across toward the peaks over here. Fairly low in the sky, but we're still a little ways from sunset, but we're getting low enough to where we're starting to get some shadows in the foregrounds and in the valleys and in the hills, which of course brings texture. Texture brings dimension, which brings 3 dimensions into the 2-dimensional world if we use it correctly. You can see the dappling along the rocks and the peaks like a painter might do. Now these clouds on this side are actually a little bit heavy. I wish a little more blue was showing through, but we have some nice sweeping, almost like God took a brush and just kind of went across here and then did some dabbling in here. Wow. It's amazing. I've just waited and I've waited and I've waited. I mean, it just keeps getting better. The sun's going down. I'm actually doing some visible spectrum and some video clips and stuff, but I've just been watching these clouds. I mean, they just keep moving across and the light keeps getting more intense, of course. And that puts all this down into rich shadow, which especially for a black and white can be really great, but honestly, can be really great for anything. I say often we don't use the tonal range enough. We have all this tonal range from black to white, zone 1 to zone 10. And, sure, we want richness, we want dynamic range, but sometimes we push that too far. You want tone, because tone is dimension, tone is texture, and we're getting that out here tonight. So I think we got some great images we're going to be taking home, guys. I love what we saw here, and I didn't even end up moving further down the road. It was so beautiful right here. We've just been here probably, an hour and a half, and I'm just watching the clouds move, waiting, working as I'm sitting here watching, doing different images, different setups, but with my eye on this ultimate visualization that we're going to see here, and just look at the results. What a beautiful spot. Waiting, being patient, thinking it through instead of just running around thinking you're going to make a great photo of everything always pays. Now look at this. I came back here the next day. It's still beautiful here, right? But the sky is completely different. Completely empty sky. No clouds going to be rolling in here for a little while. And this is an important thing because in places like this, it's oftentimes a real struggle. If I'm in a situation like this one, and I'm trying to do a great image, I may have to rethink. I may have to isolate on a subject. I may have to do something that trims off the sky or go down into a ravine where there's a stream or something along those lines. First, you have to make an image well, but an image also has to be appropriate to be amazing. It has to be the right setup, the right scene. You can have a spot like this right here that's absolutely breathtaking, and yet you can still end up with an image that doesn't do it justice. Sure, you photograph this and it's going to be a nice image, right? But it's not going to be the same as it could be under the right circumstances. So always look for what are the elements, right? You have your subject. That's your focal point. But then where are you going from there? What's the supporting cast? How well does it enhance the focal point? And if it doesn't enhance it enough, if it doesn't make the focal point interesting enough, if it doesn't draw the eye to the focal point, then what can you do? What can you change? Or maybe you just can't take it right then. Maybe you should come back later. Maybe you should change your visualization. Maybe you should do something entirely different. But we got some good images last night, some beautiful stuff. And it's going to be a nice sunset tonight, but it's not going to be like it is last night. Although there's a little cloud starting to form right there. It's getting a little bigger. In 2 hours, there might be some nice clouds there, but then the sun will be set. So sometimes you take it, sometimes you make it, and sometimes you wait for it.